What a day. All right, guys, in today's video, we're going over 5 subtle signs that you are on the right path. And guys, you got to look out for these things because they're not going to, a lot of them are not going to be so obvious. You got to pay close attention, and it's going to act as reassurance that you're headed right towards the goal you want. All right. So guys, subtle sign number 1 is that you're not getting invited out a lot. You rarely have weekend plans. All right. Why does this happen? It's not because we're not popular, people don't like our energy, or we have no social life all the time. Sometimes your subconscious is just so wired so powerfully that it's beelining you from where you are to where you want to be in a straight line. All right. And imagine a straight line there, right? And any sort of weekend plan, hanging out with friends, social outings, acts as a deviation from that straight line. And because your subconscious is primed so powerfully, it's blocking out a lot of these other distractions and keeping you on that straight line. All right. How many times have you gone out, and whether it was a bar late at night with some friends after work that maybe you really didn't want to go to, and you're sat there just thinking, what am I doing here? Like, I could be at home resting, recovering, studying, preparing, maybe just getting up early, priming myself to be up early the next day, right? There's nothing wrong with not having plans all the time. In fact, like I said, sometimes it's a subtle sign that you are on the right path. The second subtle sign that you are on the right path is that certain people aren't going to resonate with you anymore, and vice versa, right? What happens is when you start moving towards your goal, you start elevating in frequency. And what happens is, think about the way a radio station works, is when you're too far from the broadcasting, from the radio, it starts becoming staticky, and that becomes unpleasant to hear. So what do? You switch the channel, or you have to get closer to that frequency for you to hear it. But the problem with that is you don't want to be here. You want to be up here. And that happens with people, right? So this might be a best friend that you've had for a long time. This could be a significant other. This could be a business partner. It could be people who are very close to you. Don't be surprised if for some reason you no longer resonate with them anymore. It's because you're headed somewhere that they can't come along with, unfortunately. There's nothing wrong with that. So what that might look like or feel like to you is you might get a call from that friend that, maybe you used to talk every day, but all of a sudden today, you don't feel like answering that call. You don't want to answer that FaceTime call because the last few times you've left that conversation not feeling inspired, not feeling motivated. Instead, you felt drained, like 10, 15 minutes of your time was just sucked out of thin air. And you start to recognize that. And you think, why am I doing this? You guys, if you're watching this video, it's because you're going somewhere. And not everyone could come with you. And you're going to have to accept that. All right? Number 3. This is one of my favorite ones, guys. The third sign is angel numbers or strange dreams, right? So angel numbers are recurring patterns, sequences, mathematical sequences that will manifest in your life. And these are reassurance that you're on the right path. So for example, you might open your phone screen, it might be 1111, it might be 111, 222. And it's happening frequently. I remember one time when I was on a period of self-improvement, like intense self-improvement, where I was working on my health, my mental health, my physical health. I started noticing that happening. And it happened once, and I was like, all right, it's nothing, it's coincidence. But then it started happening multiple times throughout the day. I remember one day in specific, every time I checked my phone, it was a repeating number. I'm like, that's not normal, guys. If you're seeing stuff like that, that is not normal. And, you could go deep into the math about like what specific numbers mean. Personally, I don't do all that. That's just confirmation from the universe. Seeing those numbers themselves are enough confirmation for me to realize, okay, I'm living correctly. I'm doing the right thing here. All right. This second one, I think even more powerful. All right. You're going to get spoken to in your dreams. All right. Now, a lot of times it's not going to be, it can be words, it can be messengers in your dreams speaking to you, but it could also be symbols. And you have to pay close attention to these symbols that are coming to you in your dreams. All right. For example, I remember I was going through a very intense period of change in my life, and I was very scared. I feared because I didn't know what was next. And I was walking around with this frequency of fear constantly. And one day I went to sleep, and in my dream, there was this mountain lion that kept following me everywhere I went. But what was weird enough was like it kept following me and stalking me throughout my dream, but it wasn't attacking me. Nor did I ever get the sense in the dream that it was going to try to hurt me. I would just look at it. I would look in its eyes with this curiosity. What does this mean? What are you trying to tell me? And when I woke up, I sat with that dream for a while, and I thought to myself, a mountain lion is a very powerful animal. It's a big cat. It's a killing machine. Powerful beyond belief. And what that was telling to me, it was me looking in the mirror. It was trying to get me to see who I am. Because the energy I was giving off was that of a house cat, of a kitten, a domesticated cat. But that dream was telling me, no, son, you're not that. You are powerful beyond belief. See yourself as that way. And that's what that dream articulated to me. And if you're not paying attention to that, you're missing powerful signs that the universe, God, your subconscious is trying to give to you. All right. So look out for that. All right. The next sign that you are on the right path and the universe is subtly trying to tell you is that people start to comment on your appearance, your physical appearance. And this is always interesting because you don't always notice change in yourself. Think about when you're working out and someone hasn't seen you in a long time, you don't necessarily see the changes because you see yourself every day, right? It's not until somebody you haven't seen in a while sees you and holy crap, like you got huge, you got strong, you got jacked, dude. In the same sense, when you start leveling up your life and you're on that right path, people are going to start commenting on your appearance. It could be something subtle like dude, your skin's like glowing. Like what did you start doing? Or they might say like, dude, you look much healthier. Like I remember that happened to me. I was in the midst of a career switch, one that was very risky. People told me not to do, but the fact was, I was getting paid decent money, but for the work I was doing, it did not justify it. So I knew I had to make a change to get my life back. So what I did was I switched divisions. It was a risky play, but it was 20 hours less a week. It was more pay. It's more work-life balance. So I figured, why not? Let me get my life back. And guys, it wasn't even weeks. It might even been days that my old coworker saw me. They're like, dude, like you look so healthy now. Like you look vibrant. And that to me was just comfort because I didn't see that. I see myself every day. So I don't notice subtle changes. But when someone from the outside looking in sees that, they feel compelled to tell you. All right. A lot of times, guys, like your frequency gets so strong when you're on that right path that people are compelled. Like it's not just flattery where people are paying you a compliment. Is they see you and it evokes such a strong emotion that you bring the words out of them. That's how powerful you are when you're on this right path. All right. So don't undervalue that, or don't underplay that. And guys, the fifth sign, people start coming to you for guidance. All right. And these might be people that haven't reached out to you or you haven't spoken to in a while. And you have to be careful with those people because sometimes they're trying to ride the wave you're on. But for those that you use your discernment with and determine that they genuinely see you as a beacon of light, people that want to affiliate with you. And guys, as you develop in this journey, you're going to become a leader. All right, that's why I started this channel. I make these videos because I'm going somewhere and I want to take people with me. Like that is my mission. I want young men to elevate, to be the best versions of themselves through uncommon practices that aren't talked about much. And guys, if you have taken anything away from this video so far, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to chat with you. This is going to be a long journey, and I'm so hyped to go along with it, you guys. All right. So when you're on that path, people are going to see you, like I said, as a beacon. They're going to attach to you, like almost like a moth to a flame. They can't help but come to you for guidance. And what it might look like in your professional life, maybe people say, hey, like, dude, you've been performing like really well. Like, what are you doing? You've been selling really well. What are you saying? Right? It could be even more artificial things. I remember I had a coworker come up to me and he was like, dude, like your hair looks so healthy and like vibrant. Like, tell me your secret. What are you doing? Right? It could be small things like that. Because guys, like health and your frequency, your vibration, it's all one thing. So you're going to start to notice that like you get that glow of not only that aura of not only success that you're going somewhere, but you're radiating light, you're radiating health, and people are going to want to know your secret. All right, and that's where you got to use your gauge. Is this person trying to benefit off of me, take from me, or are they a student? Are they coming to you humbly as a student to learn from you? Right? That's how powerful you are. People are going to come to you. And guys, if you experience just one of these signs, I firmly believe that you are on the right path. All right. You guys are so strong. Your subconscious is primed so specifically that you're heading towards this. And all these signs are universal reminders that you're headed there. So keep doing what you're doing. Stay suave. Stay centered. I promise abundance will enter. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video.